So it's a chilly Monday morning. The sun is in my freaking eye. Ah! All right, what's going on? We're back. It's been almost a year since the last time we did one of these vlogs, and I missed you guys a lot. So we're bringing it back. The reason we had stopped doing them in the first place was because I was trying to figure out what I was freaking doing, you know, content creation wise. Spent a lot more time on, you know, building our audience on all platforms really, but really we've been popping off a little bit on TikTok. So I think it's time to bring it back. You know, we were doing podcasts there for a little bit. Also, sorry you guys are so low. I think next time we're gonna bring you guys up. So there's sometimes when I'm driving, you guys go flying all over the place. You guys have watched some of the past vlogs, I guess. But we're going to be bringing back two different things. This and the live streams, the gaming live streams, so I can actually just hang out with you guys and hang out with my audience and stuff like that. So we're bringing this back, man. Something I'm really enjoying. The reason the podcasts are not going to continue happening, if you guys want to go back and watch some of those, absolutely go for it. It's just I got tired of doing a podcast with just me. It got lonely, and I would spend so much time planning for those, and I was sitting there thinking, like, I can cover a lot of this information in vlogs without having to, you know, I can just put my time towards that instead. Jesus Christ, man. I should have worn sunglasses. I am running a little bit late this morning, and something's been going on with my alarm clock the past week, where it's just not been going off. God, I can feel my beta-alanine tingles coming in. So I woke up like an hour late. Luckily, I have like a set in stone 2-hour like morning routine. So I just missed out on my morning shower, my morning cold shower. So not complaining there. But I set up oh God, I'm burping so much. I set up a few different alarms now, so hopefully it'll wake my ass up at 6. A lot's changed since the last time we've done these vlogs. You know, I'm currently working on getting back into the cut. You know, we did the whole bulk and everything like that. Went really well. You guys saw some of the numbers we were moving around, but since then, I've done a few competitions. And really, it's just been a lot of running. I don't know why I keep getting myself into running competitions. I'm not a runner. Like in the last 3 competitions and events I've done have all been just running. If you guys aren't in the loop, you know, I'll go ahead and show you guys. The last one we did was a 24-hour race. Just so y'all, we have to follow these green fucking glow sticks. Just so y'all know what we're dealing with here. All right, y'all can barely see me, but look at what we gotta go through here. There are so many, this is lap number 2 for me. Let me cover this. There are so many little creeks, rocks. This is some rough shit. I'm not gonna lie. I'm on lap number 2. We're about 2.5 hours in. Let's fucking go. Yet another creek where we must get our feet wet. Oh, not as bad this time. I'll take it. Glop. All right. It is, I don't know exactly what time it is, but it's 21 hours in, 22 minutes. I should only have to do one more lap with my group. This was brutal. So I didn't get a lot of content because my phone died. Didn't have it. You guys can probably tell how tired I am. I've only had an hour of sleep. I'll try and explain exactly what happened in content and posts later down the line. Right now, I'm going to focus on getting this last lap done. And I'll talk to y'all soon. I can't even talk. Jesus Christ. Again, I don't know why the fuck I'm doing these things. I don't know. My dad roped me into that one. We got 26 miles in 24 hours. Yeah, it's technically a 24-hour race, But there was also, it's technically a CrossFit event at the same time. So we had to do exercises every, the lap was like 2 point something miles through just mountains and valleys. Anyways, I'm not going to go through it. I put a lot of that stuff on my TikTok, Instagram, and stuff like that. We did a whole podcast episode on it if you guys want to go catch that and go look at that. But I'm done talking about that. That shit was awful. Yeah, I mean, we had to stay up 24 hours. I'll leave it with this. The worst part about it was waking up at, I got maybe like 30 minutes of sleep. Jesus, I can't see a damn thing. Go, please, God, go. I can't see. We were running at like 4 a.m. I got done with my 4 a.m. lap. My dad was running his lap because he was like, you switched out. I remember saying to my brother, because he was running it with us, I was like, wake me up when it's time for me to go. It felt like I closed my eyes for 15 minutes. Next thing I know, my brother's poking me saying, hey, get up and go do some burpees. Fuck. That shit sucked. Anyways, there's a lot I wanted to cover in this intro. So we'll digress from that. If you guys want more info on that little run. And we also did a marathon in November. Again, more running, which I actually didn't finish. My feet got fucked up at like mile, that whole thing was a catastrophe. That's why I ended up, I guess, getting talked into doing the 24-hour race, because I've pretty much failed the marathon. I only got 20 miles. And then Alex had to come pick me up because my feet were just broken. But I digress. You guys can go check that content somewhere else. We're at the gym. What we're going to be hitting today, again, we're back on the cut. This is going to be a more deep cut because I've got a trip coming up. Not it's like going to the beach or anything. It's just a deadline I'm setting for myself because it's important to set those deadlines. Thank God we're here. That sun was crazy. So yeah, we got until about the end of April. So it's almost halfway through March. So we got about a month and a half, 6 weeks or so. Pretty deep cut. The plan is to lose about 5% or so body fat. Hopefully 6. That would be great. But we'll see what happens. That's a lot. That's asking a lot. Especially not being on any like TRT or testosterone or anything like that. So we'll see what happens. I'm going to be at like 2,400 to 2,500 calories until the end of March. And then we're going to do a really deep. I haven't done this deep of a cut in a long time. I don't recommend doing it for a lot of people. I'm just tired of being this heavy. By the way, I ran all those races at 230 plus pounds. So fuck. God, that's a part of the reason why my feet were so fucked. And, the bulk was awesome. I'm just tired of being this heavy. Like, I'm big. I feel strong. But I can gain a lot of that strength back in 6 weeks if I would just go into a serious cut. And so I'm ready for that. I'm tired of, like, my feet hurting. Because 230, I'm actually, if I have a really big refeed day, I can get my ass all the way up to, like, 245 pounds, because of all those carbs and all that water, especially if my water intake's on point. But I digress. Right now, today, I weighed out yesterday at 235. I like to weigh out in the middle of the day just because I know that it's going to be a little bit heavier than I actually am. Most people weigh in the morning because it's going to be the lightest you're going to be. So I like to kind of have that like little mental thing, be like, even if it is big, I'd be like, well, it's the middle of the day. I've already had some stuff. But yeah, man, we're going to be hitting... We're on it and kind of just go over what the kind of split we're going through. Because, again, I'm trying to go through a decent amount of information for you guys because it's the first one back. We're on a push-pull leg split. I want to keep my athleticism and strength as high as I can while I'm going through this deep cut. So the game plan here is essentially to go ahead and make sure that we're hitting a lot of those compound lifts so we can keep a lot of that strength. Muscle-wise, I'm not concerned about losing too much muscle. There is such a thing as muscle memory, so it should come back again within 6 to 8 weeks of retraining and getting back into a maintenance calorie, high protein. That should do the trick. But yeah, I guess we should stop talking too much. We can just get in there and talk while I'm working out and stuff. But the game plan today is for sure bench. We're going to go get warmed up real quick, and then I'll see you guys on bench. All right, so first up is going to be incline bench. Mainly because I haven't done these in a fat minute, and honestly, we'll probably get some flat dumbbell bench in after this. I don't know, we need to hit shoulders too. You know what, I think for shoulders we're gonna hit some giant sets, or maybe just a super set for the flies, side raises, lateral, or I guess not flies, raises. But yeah, I think, what am I feeling for the day? We did legs yesterday. I think for the day, the rep range is going to be just a bit higher up because I've been doing a lot of like 5x5s recently. And I want to go more for like, let's go for 15 to see how that's feeling today. Shoulder's feeling a little funky. I think it just needs to warm up, honestly. I just need to warm up. Whew. I'm gonna add some 10s. I think we're gonna go for just about 6 sets total. I think what I've been kind of playing around with is again prioritizing strength for the cut for 2 reasons. One, obviously you want to stay as strong as you can. You don't want to limit that because that'll help you gain that muscle back when you get done cutting. But 2, all these exercises burn a ridiculous amount of calories. So I was doing like sets of like 5 at the beginning of my exercises. And again, when it comes down to doing the heaviest lifts you're going to do for your workout, you always do that at the beginning and make sure you're not doing cardio. Like 20 minutes of cardio before you do something like this, it would be stupid because you're wasting that energy on that. Because cardio is more something you do. It's literally aerobic training, meaning that oxygen can carry you through cardio, but you can't, oxygen's not going to carry you through heavy lifting. It's just not, right? Like it's a very important factor. That's the difference between aerobic training and anaerobic training, right? So kind of keep that in mind. I see a lot of, and that's something I used to do all the time because I get it. Get warmed up, you start feeling good, you get the blood flowing, but that's also part of what the warm-up's for, and your pre-workout meal too. So you're probably also just not foam rolling. Do foam rolling. That's literally what I did right before I hopped on this thing. Let's go a little wider. I say heavy lifting. I was thinking about that while I was doing that. Compound lifting. Correct myself. You guys are probably wondering like why I'm not using like 225 because I could do that for 15, but the reality is that this is feeling fine. I don't want to go, especially with this higher volume. The main point, when I'm doing high volume like this, it's not for the sake of necessarily strength. This is more of a strength-given exercise, you know. If I was really trying to do more of like building my chest, I'd probably do more like dumbbells or cables. But my main concern here right now is just kind of giving that heavier weight a deload on my joints, if that makes sense. Because I do feel beat up. I'm not gonna, all these events and stuff, and I've been doing lots of stretching and yoga. It's just I've been doing quite a bit of it's a lot of running. Again, we're gonna take that out. That being said, I am doing 2 workouts a day. One of those is actually in like this sauna place called Hot Works. You know, for my local people, you'll know what that is. I think it's nationwide, but again, I'm sure some of you guys don't know what I'm talking about. It's basically a place where you can do cardio in a sauna. It's pretty nice, and you obviously can do like hot yoga workouts and stuff like that. So 3 times out of the week, I try and make it up there, and then 2 days out of the week, I do cardio at home just so I can, you know, focus on work a little bit more. But about, you know, 300 calories worth or so is what I'm trying to burn in 30 minutes, and then get a little bit of stretching and stuff in, and then I'll record content up at Hot Works as well, just to because we got something worked out up there with them, but also to, you know, if I have the opportunity, get in on some of that, you know, mobility and flexibility work. in that yoga environment really helps like open you up and stuff like that. But yeah, my shoulders, specifically today, it's this one, have been just aching. They're not really just having a huge problem. But if I can keep the weight low and still get a really good pump today in my chest, that's what we're gonna try and go for. And then, you know, we'll kind of bump the volume back down the next few weeks. God, my hat is just fucking with me. I'm gonna take it off. Oh, that burns there, man. Holy sheesh. I'm also a little bit dehydrated. I'm pretty dehydrated today. Pee pretty yellow when I woke up. My own fault. It's something I've been really struggling with. Honestly, I don't know why. I was not struggling with it before in my past vlogs. I think it's just honestly the container I have is like just hard to. When you drink out of it, the handle will hit you in the face, and so I don't know. Excuses. I need to drink more water. All right, this will be the last set I record, just because if I record every single set, we'll be here forever. I did that the first vlog, and I remember it was like an hour long, so hey, you guys don't have that much time. I don't have that much time. What we're gonna do is I'm probably gonna do 2 more sets. Honestly, I might do a set with just the bar so I can get that good squeeze in and stuff, you know? But at least 2 more sets with just 145, because honestly, I'm getting a really good like squeeze. I'm feeling a good pump. So I wanted to get a little bit more control so I can really focus on squeezing my chest. Oh man. Oh, come on. Do one more, I'm gonna drop set this. Holy crap. I think I'm just not used to doing this high of volume. Not in a minute. Definitely not with upper body. We're gonna do another 10 with just the bar. Whew. It's good, I need that. Shoulder's feeling good, so that's all that matters too. A little bit wider. Let's go a little bit higher. Feel burn. Yeah, I'm gonna do like 1 more set with maybe like 25s on there. Just again, volume. And after this, we'll probably go ahead and hit a superset of shoulder raises. All right, well, we are now done with our main lift. So what that means is that the volume gets cut in like literal half. So almost always, unless I'm doing something very isolated, I'm gonna do something like for 3 or 4 sets after the main lift. Most of my energy goes into that main lift. Main reason, that's where all my energy is going to be left out, right? Like if I'm going really freaking hard on that first lift, a lot of my carb sources, especially if I'm cutting, is going to be used up on that. Now, doesn't mean these aren't important. It just means that, like, if you want to be able to hit all the muscle groups you want to hit or all the exercises you want to hit, you don't be doing like freaking 6 sets of that, right? On leg day, it's even worse. Leg day, I go more like 8 sets because you should be doing more volume for your lower body. But I digress. We're going to be doing a superset of side raises and rear delt raises or rear delt flies. You may be going like, well, what about the front, front raises? What about the front deltoid? For one, we just hit it. Anytime you're doing any kind of like press of any variation, just about, besides the tricep stuff, but it's going to hit those front deltoids. So that being said, along with me doing so much bag work, like I do bag work 4 or 5 days out of the week, they're good. My front deltoids are overdeveloped as shit. So I don't worry about those. If at some point I feel like I need to, I will. But what we'll do is, we're doing push-pull legs. We're going to have another push day later this week. That push day, second push day of the week, is more focused towards like taking care of the shoulders. Whereas today is more taking care of the chest. So it's like vertical versus horizontal push days. What am I doing? Because technically you could throw these both into your back day because you're hitting your traps here. And a rear delt fly is technically a pull. Sorry, I'm going to focus. 2 more. We're going 8 to 12 with these, by the way, on both of them. That's good. Feel that pretty damn good. But yeah, another thing here is the rest period is going to be significantly reduced. Sorry, I just want to double check you guys are on. It's been a minute since we've done the vlogs, man. So we're going more 30 to 60 seconds. Whereas before, when we're doing the compound movement, it's going to be more along the lines of like 2 to 5 minutes, honestly, just depending. So I really chill out on that first lift. And then I start, at towards the ends when I start ramping up, like, I guess you could say intensity to a degree, but a lot of it's just, taking the volume out, replacing it with low rest time. So for example, here we go again. That should be plenty. I'm gonna focus a little bit more on my reps this time. All right. Honestly, I'm having a harder time with those side raises than these rear delts. Oh my God. Yeah, it feels, I'm getting a good pump out of that. Yeah, those side raises. My shoulders are slightly uneven, especially somewhere in here. That's what I mean. I had to focus so much on that cardio for those races that, and what's crazy is I was doing still 5-6 days a week in the gym too when I was doing that, but totally different kind of training. And again, just too fucking heavy right now, man. Just not happy with the, I'm fine with the way it looks, the way it feels on my body. And I think a lot of it's honestly due to the running, just running so much. I think anyone would feel that way, but as someone who wants to be able to move that much all the time, it's just not, I don't like being above 220. So main game plan overall is just get down 215 and then keeping that much muscle there. But I mean, I'm pretty still, obviously you guys can probably tell I'm not fucking chunky too bad. You know, we've been in maintenance for a good while, just because you can't really cut when you're running marathons. Literally. You can't, well, let me say that, you can't lift like I do, in which I, you know, again, part of my job is part of what I do, and eat like that. It's just, and train like that with that much, you know, we're not talking like a 30-minute run here. We're talking hours and 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 hours of running. And that just, under frame of 230 plus, it just tears your feet up, man. They're fine today. I mean, honestly, when I was walking over here from the warm-up, I was feeling a little janky, but like I said, it'll be fine. I just need to give it some TLC. And by that I mean just no more really running. I'll do treadmill work and walking, but you know, no more you know, trails. That was one thing that was fucking them up. And again, just getting this weight off. But we did it last time. I think we got down to 215 last time. So we'll make that the goal for this time too. Oh man. Everything's feeling pretty good though. I'm feeling like I'm getting a pretty good pump. Oh. All right. Next we need to take care of triceps overhead style, because again, since we're not hitting shoulders, we're not getting that variation of triceps hit. So I'm thinking maybe some machine tricep extensions. I've got a love-hate relationship with this bad boy. It's because it's going to challenge your shoulder mobility out quite a bit. But what did I just tell you guys I need to work on, huh? A lot. I think a lot of that shoulder stuff's from all the bag work. I really got to start pacing that out. I just enjoy it. It's my favorite freaking cardio to do. And I got to keep training. That's like, if you guys are wondering what my main goals are, that's my main goal, is just like, be freaking dangerous, be the best fighter I can be. And part of that means being strong, you know, keeping your freaking body fat off, because obviously body fat really only slows you down. It's not going to do anything for you. Obviously to a certain degree, but like keeping it around 8 to 10% body fat year round is something that is manageable. I've did it for years. It's just, I got caught up bulking last year, and you got to do that sometimes, honestly. But I think I hit the limit of what I want to do muscle-wise. You know what I mean? And we need more weight. Now, strength-wise, though, that's a different thing. Strength-wise, we do want to keep going up. But that's not the same thing as wanting to build more muscle, you know? Like, I do want to shape my body up more. You know, maybe add more muscle to certain areas, take muscle away from certain areas. But as far as strength, we obviously want that to keep going up. But just because your strength goes up doesn't mean your muscles and your weight has to go up either. They're two completely separate, different things. It has to do with something called motor units. I guess we can kind of talk about that, but let's do it after this set, huh? Keep going. That's a good weight, but we're going to do a little bit more for the last one. So your motor units are basically where your nervous system comes into play. Your nervous system's what controls all your muscles to move and stuff, right? And a motor unit are individual sections of muscle that are activated to help you lift a certain amount of weight. For example, like there's a certain amount of motor units being used to lift this much weight, but way more motor units are needed to be used for this 3 to 4 times heavier, or however much heavier it is, bag, right? Like I have to use more muscle groups to make that happen. When it comes down to building more strength, It's about activating more motor units. And that has to do with literally just lifting heavier weight. And you can gain strength in any rep range. It doesn't have to be 1 to 3 reps. That's just easier to train for strength in that low rep range because you'll have more energy. That's the reason people do that. But in regards to building muscle, you won't necessarily build a lot of muscle just because you're lifting lots of weight. I say this all the time. There's so many very, very skinny kids squat a lot of weight. For shout out to my client Bridget, she just joined my training. She was talking to me the other day. She used to be 110 pounds. She was squatting 300 plus pounds, guys. Like 110 pounds is not very big, and I know a lot of guys who are 200 plus pounds that cannot squat that weight. Okay, it's not the same thing. So wanted to address that. We're gonna do a drop set on here because I got a little bit too much rest explaining that to you guys. We're gonna go 15-15. 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Drop it. Half the weight, just about, a little bit under. 15 more. Ow. 3, 4, 6. And all right, God. Woo. This is why I like vlogging, man. Y'all push me. Really to just go above and beyond. Feels good. All right. Always gonna wrap up the workouts with some core. So let me go figure out what that is and we'll get to that. All right, sorry about that. My mic cut out. These things got to be charged a little bit more frequently than I thought. It looked like it was good before I left, but we got to start doing the post checkouts because it's very important to do progress pictures. I always tell that to my clients, so I'm gonna stand by that word. What we're basically gonna do at the end of these videos is do a quick little pose out, see what we need to work on. I think it's important for everybody. Again, I preach this to my clients, but I always tell my clients to do this every 2 weeks. I'm gonna be doing it 3 times a week in these vlogs, so it's just gonna be my way of doing it, easier way of me kind of keeping track with it, but also so you guys can see what we're working with here. So like I said, there's some work that needs to be done, but we got obviously, very good pump today. Jesus Christ. Look like a fucking brick wall, bro. All right, let's give it a little side pose. I like this little angle right here too, because like there's no mirror in front of me, it's to the side, so I have to look to my side. And I can actually see what's going on a little bit more. Let's try the vacuum. Ooh, have not been doing vacuums in like a year. So that's why we're back on this journey. Tri-side chest. And I'm no professional, I'm no bodybuilder. Remember that, guys. I am an athlete. Which, like, you can say they're athletes, but I mean, like, I'm an MMA fighter. Keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. I'm not very good at posing. But if you guys got any pointers for that, let me know. Those lats feel like they're about to cramp on up, too. I will say my lats, let me get a little side posing here done. We might do all of our pose outs here. We'll see how the lighting looks after this, but. And by the way, it's only going to look worse from here for the next like week and a half, just because I've talked about this in past videos. You're always going to look worse before you look better. And that has to do with, like, there's glycogen in these muscles. Like, I had 3,000 calories about yesterday, still technically slightly in a cut, but way more than usual. Like I said, way more than the 2,400 to 2,500 that we're going to be eating. So these muscles are going to start deflating. You're not going to see as big pumps. You're not going to be, like I said, that for about a week and a half, it's going to look like, damn, it looks like he's getting worse. That's normal. That's normal. And that's why a lot of people shift gears in their fat loss journey when they should be doing the same thing. They just feel like they're not getting anywhere. But again, guys, you're going to look worse before you look better. It's always going to be the case. You're going to have less glycogen in your muscles. It's going to look like you have less muscle in there and more fat in there because it's going to be like flat and looking more like fat, quite frankly. But you have to get to that zone in order to burn any body fat. You have to remember that. So get through that zone about a week and a half to 2 weeks. And then from there, that's as flat as you're going to be. And then from there, it'll just be fat burn. And then you'll start going like, oh, okay, I see what's going on. This is why you don't see results from fat loss for at least a month or 2 months. It takes time. But that being said, I feel like we got enough posing in. So tricep stretch, flex. But again, I don't know how to fucking flex that. So I'll have to watch some videos on posing and shit. Because it's important. I will say it is important as far as figuring out what you need to work on, where you're lacking, rather. For me, it's my posture. So it's really the way my back pulls up when I lower traps and stuff, more than anything. And then really working on that anterior pelvic tilt I got going on. So again, not any muscles I'm necessarily just trying to get bigger. Maybe my chest just a little bit, obviously. My arms just a little bit. Maybe my legs just a little bit. But more than anything, I'm wanting to do a little bit of shaping during this cut to try and fix some imbalances. So anyways, I'll see you guys in the car. There, got you guys a little bit higher this time. So that looks a little bit better, honestly. But we're done. I got some cardio in, no bag work. I'm gonna do bag work on the days I'm not vlogging. Should be the days that these are actually posted. Unless you guys want to see that shit, and then I will. Which, again, I'll post that on my other stuff. The days in between, so if you guys aren't, I don't know if I cover this or not, aren't aware of the schedule, the plan is to do vlogs on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. And I'll be filming them the day before, so that way I can edit them and just post them up. I think before, one of the reasons I also stopped vlogging is because it was just a lot. And I was doing it like just about every day. And so just to have some extra time, because obviously I do want to keep posting regularly on my Instagram and TikTok and such. Facebook, I really don't care for. I do have a lot of clients from Facebook. So I do post there a lot because it picks up a lot of people. I just hate the platform. I'm not going to lie to you guys. Facebook is probably, and now that being said, I don't use X or anything, so I don't know how that goes. I probably should. But I hate Facebook. I hate anywhere where you can just write it. The whole a big part of the platform is just to like post your opinion and then everyone argue about it. It sucks. It is the most stressful place on the planet. I gotta be honest. But anyways, yeah. We're back with the vlogs. When this comes out, again, we're going to be doing some gaming live stream. I think we're going to be doing a Pokemon Nuzlocke. I think we're going to be doing a quality of life hack, whatever the hell you want to call it, ROM of Emerald, and do a Nuzlocke because we've never done one before. And it's just something simple to get back into the gaming live streams. You know, I haven't done them in a very long time, and I kind of want to just do what I want. Obviously, if you guys have some games you want me to stream, comment them below. It's going to be more of a variety kind of gaming stream. We're not going to stick to any one thing, but I figured starting off on something that it's not just like a super huge commitment, but a commitment in itself. You know, and playing a Pokemon, it'll be my first Nuzlocke I've ever done, one. But two, it shouldn't take more than 10 to 12 streams worth. So that's only a few weeks of that game, and then we can move on to another thing. So if you guys have some other games you want to recommend and stuff. But again, the whole point of this is just to hang out with you guys while I do what I want to do. Play the games I kind of want to play. But obviously, too, if there's a lot of you guys that are like, hey, you need to be playing this game, it makes it so much more fun. And part of the fun of streaming is engaging with all of you guys. Honestly, that's most of the fun of streaming. Otherwise, I'll just play games with my friends, right? Or play games by myself. But I wanted to have a time for us to hang out with each other. So that'll be happening Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays as well. Tuesdays and Thursdays at 7 p.m. CST, and then Saturday at 2 p.m. CST for a little bit longer. But yeah, that's going to be the main game plan as far as that goes. As far as the nutrition and stuff goes, we've already talked about how I'm doing 2,400 calories. Still kind of doing some intermittent fasting. I haven't eaten yet. I don't do pre-workout meals. I do work out in the morning time now. I don't know if that has changed since last time. I can't remember what we were doing last time. I want to say it was still the morning time. It might have been afternoon back then. I can't remember. But yeah, the morning time just helps me get my day started. I can start my day doing the hardest part, which is this workout. Should be the hardest part. And that was a pretty damn good workout, I gotta say. It wasn't the hardest, but I got a good pump. You know what I mean? So tomorrow we got some pull, and so the game plan there is definitely go ahead and start off with deadlift. Now last week I went pretty heavy with deadlift. I think we did like an 8x5, 8x3. So low volume, you know, so I remember it was heavy as fuck. And I remember now because I made a post about how you can't PR all the time, and I was actually down in my strength, and I was sad boy. But we will go ahead and make sure we take the creatine today. Been kind of on and off with the creatine. I need to get better about taking it and stuff. A little bit here and there. But in regards to the nutrition stuff, if you guys want me to do like a full day of eating video, I do that for my Instagram sometimes anyways. So we might do that sometime soon. But anyways, we're about back home. I need to go make me a post-workout protein shake / meal. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.